Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Monday, August 24th, 2020. We're in the first day of the new trading week and the final hour of the trading day. The final hour is the time that I prefer to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions for my swing trades during the day. You have the algorithms and the day traders. They're the ones that are in control of the price. At the end of the day, in the last hour and the last few minutes, the large financial institutions start waking up, start making their move, and they take control of the price away from the day traders and the algorithms. So I consider them smart money because they're dealing with the most money. They have very smart people, very good information, best technology, and I prefer to piggyback on the tails of the large financial institutions as far as making my buying and selling decisions. So anyway, thank you all for coming today. I always look forward to seeing everyone. I'm very grateful that we have this great group and so many people contribute, and I consider you all my friends. So thank you so much for coming today. All right, well, what's going on? So the Dow Jones is up 237 points, up 0.85%. The NASDAQ was up much higher earlier in the day. Currently, it is only up 20.27%, up 20.27 points, 0.18%. And the S&P is up 20.92, up 0.62%. So it's been kind of a wild day, especially in NASDAQ. Let's take a look. Hey, Dan is here. Hey, Dan, good to see you, my friend. Peace sign right back at you. Quad. Hey, Quad, good to see you. Good afternoon, Greg and group. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you, Quad. Kamal is here. Hello, Kamal. Good chatting with you during the day as always, and thank you so much for sending the results of the scanner. Mr. David is here. Hey, David, how you doing? Hope you're feeling well. Hope you're hanging in there. William Green is here. Hello, Greg and team. Hello, William. Good to see you, sir. Alan is here. Hey, Alan. Good to see you. And Johan is here. Hello, Johan from Hong Kong. Good to see you, my friend. Appreciate you coming to the channel, and I am looking forward to our lessons that we're going to start this coming Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to teach you everything that I know. All right, well, interesting day. So listen, first of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them moving forward. After that, I've had a couple day trades that I'm going to share with you, and we'll see how we did there. Then we're going to go through your trades. I have them up on the board. We're going to go through one by one, see how those are doing. After that, we're going to switch gears. We're going to talk a little bit about trader psychology. In my opinion, most important part of trading. Yes, you have to learn how to trade. Yes, you need to identify support, resistance levels, entries, exits, all that kind of stuff. But when it really comes down to it, what you do with your mind and whether you can follow your plan is the most important skill you can develop in trading. Honestly. So that's why I like to touch on that. After that, I've gone down through my watch list. I've also gone down through the results of Kamal's scanner. And so I'm going to go through those. We're going to take a look. I have 3 requirements whenever I look to enter a trade. First requirement, I want to make sure I have a good confluence or combination of indicators lining up, ideally on multiple time frames. I look at each indicator as MACD, RSI, moving averages. I look at them as potential groups of buyers. So you're going to put yourself in the best position to have a profitable trade if you're in the company with as many other buyers as possible. And the way that I try to achieve that is looking for a combination or a confluence of indicators lining up on multiple time frames, ideally. Number 2, even if you have a really good confluence of indicators, you have to analyze it from a risk to reward standpoint based upon support below you and likely resistance above you. I'd like to have at least 2 times or more to the upside compared to what I'm losing. And the number 3, always important, please keep in mind how many positions you have, how correlated they are, how much account heat you have. It's very important. You don't want to be too heavy in one particular industry. You want to diversify your holdings from diversify your holdings in a variety of industries and even outside of equities like bonds and gold and silver, so forth. So I'm going to go through the watch list, going to look for those 3 requirements. If something looks good, we'll put it to the side as an end of day candidate. And then at the end of the day, I'll go through those end of day candidates and try to whittle it down, ideally to just the very, very best one that meets my criteria the most. And if I find one, then I'll go ahead and place the trade at the end of the day. After that, after the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me, please let me know. Happy to answer them. Happy to clarify anything that I discussed today. If you have any stock symbols that you would like me to look at, please put them in the chat. If it's time sensitive and you'd like me to take a look before the market closes, please put an asterisk by it or an emoji so that I know it's time sensitive. I'll do my very best, okay? And then after the market closes, if anybody has any questions, if anybody has any new additions or subtractions to their current holding, please wait till the end of the day so the market's closed, and then I can concentrate better with the heat off right after the market closes, and I can make sure I can get them up there correctly for you. Okay, so that's the plan for today. So if you could, please hold on. I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and I will be back in about 40 seconds. Thanks. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right. Okay, good. I thought I lost my trading platform during that. That's not good. Okay. Let me get back on track here. Yas is here. Hi, Yas. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Thanks for coming. Evan is here. Hi, Evan. Good afternoon to you. Gary, good afternoon, Greg and all. Good afternoon to Gary. And Frank is here. Hey, Frank. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a nice weekend. Okay, so let me checky over here. Okay. Sorry, I've had some technical problems today a few times, and so now I'm paranoid about it. Okay, let's get started. Beyond Meat. All right. Gary, Kamal, and I did buy Beyond Meat back here on the 19th. We bought it at 125.10. Nice sidewards motion, nice V1, false breakout to the downside. Bought here at 125.10. Hit one profit target the next day. I did get out of half of the position because on that very next day it went above 50 and below 50, which is a red flag. So I took half of my position off. It never moved more than 1.5 ATRs away from my entry, so I'm not in trailing stop mode as far as a close below the previous day's low. So I am just going to hold this. My stop here is at a close below 123. So this is a good example of if you do reject something to the upside, why it is a bit of something as important as the 50 RSI coming underneath it and above it. That it rejected the 50, that it is a red flag. That's why I decided to take half off, and of course I'm very glad that I did that. But again, it has not moved more than 1.5 ATRs from my entry, so I'm sticking with my original stop here, which is to close below halfway of the washout bar. All right, 5. Kamal, Gary, and Quad Racer. Anybody else? No. So we bought 5 below yesterday, Friday at 109.31. Had this nice higher low V1 under 50, over 50. Bought it here at 109.31, and it's done really nicely today. I hit one profit target here at 111.11, and the second one here at 112.77. I do like to scale out of my positions as they move my way if they move the value of 0.45 ATR. So from the close, or from my entry up here is 0.45 ATRs, and from here to here is another 0.45 ATR. So anyway, this one looks good. MACD went positive today. That's good. We did test this previous high over here, but the bar it still looks good. Yeah, it still looks good. This orange line up here, it would be if it gets more than 1.5 ATRs, that's where I'll start to kick into my trailing. MDB. All right, Kamal and I bought MDB back here on the 12th of August. Kamal bought it intraday at 193. I bought it at 194.98, and this has been a monster run. Just up, 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 up. Oh no, I didn't. I was supposed to sell half when it rejected the 50, but I missed it at the end of the day, which turned out to be a good thing. Then it was up again strongly. Yesterday, Friday was an inside bar. Today, I am going to go ahead and just lock in profits. Currently, we're under the 50 RSI. We've lost the 50-day moving average. We're closed low the previous day's low. This has been a really nice trade, and I'm going to go ahead and just lock this in today. SPY. Okay, this is one of my approaches, investor trading approaches. I do buy the SPY every day at the close. I hold it overnight. I take the overnight risk and I sell it first thing the next morning. I do this based upon a long-term back-tested study done by Lizanne Saunders at Bespoke Invest. Since 1993, they tested two approaches. Approach number one, buy the SPY at the open, hold it through the day, sell it at the close. If you use this approach every day since 1993, you'd have lost a negative 13.9% return. However, if you do the opposite, which is what I do, buy the SPY at the close, hold it overnight, take the overnight risk, that's where I feel the edge is. That's where I feel you get rewarded with this approach over the long term, is by taking that overnight risk, selling it first thing the next morning. This approach returned a positive 634.2% return. So big difference. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. That goes for any trading approach. But if I'm going to invest money in a trade, it's going to be based upon something that has good back-tested results. Blue line is the buy in the evening, or buy the close, sell the morning. Orange line's buy the morning, sell the close. It's not even close. Over time, the blue line, all this has done is gone up, although there are significant drawdowns, multi-year drawdowns. Let me repeat that, multi-year drawdowns. So if you're considering using this approach, do it with a very conservative position size, because you are going to go through some significant drawdowns. Sorry. Give me 1 second. Let me close this down. I've been trying to close down all my windows because of this issue. So that being said, I had a really great overnight SPY trade, no doubt about it. I bought it here at the close on Friday at 339.48, sold it right near the top at 342.13. So this is a great overnight SPY trade. I will rinse and repeat. I will buy it again at the close and then sell it first thing the next morning. Okay, so let's get on quickly. Day trades. So listen, I did buy Goldman Sachs intraday when it popped its head over the 200-day moving average. This is a good back-tested approach, buying a close under and over the 200-day on Goldman Sachs. When it moved above the 200-day, it looked pretty strong to me. It's not a day trade per se, because I'm just holding it here at 203.79. It's 205.64. If it closes above the 200-day moving average, I'll just morph it into a swing trade, because I would have bought it anyway with the close under, close over. Just fortunately, I got a nice little head start. So if it does close over the 200-day moving average, I will keep this. If it closes under, I'll go ahead and take a small loss. But currently, right now, it's almost $3. Is it $3? $2. $2 in the money. All right, VIX. I did buy VIX on the 5-minute. I bought it here. We went under 30, over 30, under the negative third, over the negative third ATR channel, and a V2. I bought it here at 24.16. Moved up here, rejected the 50-day moving average, so I bought it at 214.16, and I got out at 214.29. Doesn't seem like a lot, but on a cheap stock like this, or inexpensive stock like this, you know, it's worth it. So that was a good trade. And then Apple. I bought Apple here with the higher low V2. We were below the -1 ATR channel. We came into the value zone. We had a couple days down. We formed a V2. Here's day 1, 2, 3. Day 2 washed out day 1. Day 3 closed above what day 1's close. I bought it here at 503 even. Orange line is 1.5 ATRs from my entry. So as soon as it starts to get up here, I start to trail the stop. I got out of here when we had a close below the previous day's low. So in at 503 even, out at 507 even. Boy, I got lucky with the even numbers. Then at this point, like I said, I sold half. I wanted to see whether or not we could go back up, test the 70 RSI. If it kept going down, I would go to a break even. It did move up, Then we had another V2 to the downside and a false breakout to the upside. Here was the high, we went above it. So we had a confluence of signals and I got out of the other half at 507.68. So in at 503 even, out at 507 even, half, and out of another half at 507.68. Okay, so that is that. Boy, look at this chart here on Apple. I think this went under 30, over 30. Yeah, it did. Here we went under the 30, over the 30, V1, under the -3rd, over the -3rd. Look at that. Had I been trading, I would have taken that. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Ah, man. Oh, good. It came back. I think it did. Gosh darn it. Okay, it's back. Glenn says, hi Greg, big reversal on Apple and Tesla today. Yes, sir, there certainly are. There certainly is. Apple was up 16 points at one point today. Up 16 points. I watched it go from up 16 to negative, back up to about 10, and now back down 3.84. Steve, hey buddy, good to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Always nice to have you here, Steve. Always an honor and a privilege to have you with us. Really, I mean that. Steve says, my Google position here is flat, 0.007 here after being up 2% this morning. Yeah, I was watching that. Hey, Frank has a trade for us. Bless the trade you make that's more than a guess. The ones you study and pass your test, where the risk is calculated and nothing less, and you know in your heart you've given it your best. Ah, spot on, Frank. Doesn't get any better than that. True words. Bless the trade you make that's more than a guess. The ones you study and pass your test, where the risk is calculated and nothing less, at least you know in your heart you've given it your best. Wow, so great. So great, Frank. Thank you. So apropos. It really, really is. That's fantastic. Thank you for all the work and the time and the effort that you put into these poems, because I really like them, and I'm sure everyone else does as well. Okay, so let's get on to it. Here is Apple. Oh, I guess I should get rid of my stuff up here, huh? All right. Frank did buy Apple here at 503. No, down here, 450. That was mine today. So Frank bought at 450. He's up 51 points on the trade. Fantastic, Frank. Just beautiful. Big reversal though. This is a bearish reversal bar. The close currently is above Friday's close, but much lower than the open. So this is a bit of a bearish red flag in my opinion. Intel. All right, Quad Racer did buy Intel back here at 49.22 with the V2. I bought this as well. It just moved sideways. Started to break out here. I got out. I didn't like the bar. It was up again on Friday, but down 38 cents today, down 0.7. So Quad's a little under the water on that one. LVGO. Brian bought LGVO at 129.46. Frank bought it at 133.48. It's 132.90. So Frank's down just a little bit on LVGO, and Brian is still up on the trade. So nice there. Roku, Karen did buy Roku, higher low V2 at 149.80. Right now it's 148.40. It is up today, but slightly down on the trade. J&J, Frank and Bob bought J&J back here. Return to value V2, 147.39, and this has just moved up and up and up, down a little bit today, but up nicely on the trade. Google, let me take a look over here at Google. Where is my Google chart? Okay. So Steve bought Google here at 1576 with the 1030 SMA crossover. This is a good back-tested approach, one at 1576. Like Steve mentioned earlier, it was up 2% today, but it's given back most of it. So he got in at 1576, it's at 1579. So still up on the trade, so that's good. Oh, Brian and David also are in the trade, but Brian and David are back here at 1504.15. Brian and David have had a big trade on this one so far. Procter & Gamble. Brian bought Procter & Gamble back here at 128.30. It is a 138.31, so almost up exactly $10. Very nice, Brian. LVG. Oh, I already did that one. MD. David shorted MD at 1946. It's at 1853, so almost $1 to the downside. Very nice, David. XLU. Frank did buy XLU on Friday at 59.42. It's at 59.84, so that's a nice start to the new trade, Frank. Alibaba. Gary sold a put spread on Alibaba expiring September 18th, 240, 235. So he sold the 240 puts and he bought the 235 puts, making the difference. This is a bullish trade, so it is up nicely today. So you're doing well in that, Gary, right? Know that. FCFS. Bob bought FCFS at 58.10. Immediately went up nicely, consolidated a little bit up today, and also nicely up on the trade. All right, Frank. Frank did buy FAS triple leverage financials back here at 33.79 with the 520 crossover. Was a monster trade. Up. I took this one too. I remember I got out here. The rest got out here. Frank sold 90% of his right there and decided to hold on to 10%. So I'm glad he did sell 90 there, but what he has for the 10% is up nicely today. NTNX. Karen bought NTNX at 21.49. It is 21.19. Up on the day, but slightly down on the trade. Car. Frank and Jayhawk bought Car at 29.54. It is at 30.26, up 2.51% today. Up on the day, up on the trade. Perfect. TCDA. Oh boy, I looked at this earlier, Bob. Bob bought TCDA at 14.09. Initially went up, had kind of a bad day on Friday, and today looks like there was some news, some FDA news, so down 23.87%. Listen, we're all so used to everything going up, but listen, this can happen to any stock at any time. So please, 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 regardless of what you're buying, make sure you position size correctly, that it's a conservative position size. I would take my maximum allowed loss. 1% is a good rule of thumb. So if you have $100,000, 1% would be your maximum loss. You take maximum loss, you divide it by the value of the 2 ATR, and that would tell you where to get out from an emergency standpoint. And in this case, it would have been right, well, it would have been the open because it gapped down. But anyway, that's unfortunate, but it's, you know, just a good reminder to everybody to please, please, please position size correctly, adjust for volatility. I like the best way to do that is with the average true range. But yeah, that's a shame, Bob. Amazon, Brian did buy Amazon back here at 30.57. It's at 32.95, so up on the day, beautifully up on the trade. Costco, Glenn bought Costco with a breakout at 3.30. Went up, went down, and it's just headed up. Down a little bit today, but beautifully up on the trade. PayPal, Brian's been in this one so long, I got to go back here. Bought this back on the 17th of July at 174.01. It is now 197.28 up on the day and up on beautifully up on the trade. Fastly. All right, David and Glenn. I can't remember which one bought who bought what. I think Glenn bought here at 79.79. I think David bought here at about 83.87. So it looks like both is down today. It looks like one person is break even, the other person is still positive on the trade. SHW, Brian bought SHW, Sherman-Williams at 648.69, is down today a bit, but nicely up on the trade. Netflix, Brian did buy Netflix here at 509, back on the 6th of August. Went down, rallied up, but kind of a big down bar today as well. Etsy, Brian did buy Etsy at 134.71. It's 129.80, so a little down on the trade and down prices down today as well. AMD, who is AMD? Brian bought AMD here at 82.72. It is at 82.87, so still up on the trade slightly, but a little down on the day. Square, Brian did buy Square back here at 140.33. It is down 2.23% today, but still nicely positive for the trade as a whole. VRM, Glenn, nice. Bought Vroom, VRM at 61.05 on Friday. It is up $3.34, 5.38%. So beautifully up on the trade, beautifully up on the day. Facebook, Brian bought Facebook two locations, 235 and 242.98. Down, up a little bit today, but well off of its highs, but beautifully up on the trade. And last but not least, Stars. Evan, nice trade. Evan bought this higher low V2 at 178.12. Went up, inside bar, went down, reverse, but up 1.04% today. So up on the day, up on the trade. Okay, I want to take a look at Apple off of that. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That would have been the right place to buy it. The under 30, over 30, right? The V1, the rejection of the negative third ATR channel, and that would have turned into a nice trade for sure. Frank says, thank you, Greg. You're welcome. Kamal says, Goldman Sachs, I am in over the 200. Yep, that's right. Kamal and I are both in this trade. Boy, it's been a nice trade so far, huh? And Marco is here. Hey, buddy, good to see you. Hope you're having a nice evening in Europe. Always appreciate you coming by and hope you're doing well. Steve says, I'm long fast here, 37.78 on the 520-day EMA signal. Uh-huh. So that one re-triggered. So let's take a look. Fat brands, I put in the wrong signal. Boy, Steve, you have a new 520 crossover today? See, mine never crossed under. Huh. What was the time frame for the Apple chart? The 5 minute, David. 5 minute on the Apple. Right here, 5 minute. Under 30, over 30, under the negative third channel, over the negative third HER channel, and a V1. That'd have been your spot right there. Although, had I bought it here, it looks like we've rejected the 50 RSI also. So I would be looking to lock in at least half of my profits here if I were in this. So Steve, so looking at FAST, maybe our charts differ because I don't see the 5 crossing under and back over. Kamal says I don't see the cross under as well. Yeah. Now, if on my chart it went under over, I couldn't buy it, right? Because I already have Goldman Sachs, so I wouldn't want to have a triple leverage financials and Goldman Sachs because obviously they're going to run right together. Okay. Listen, before we get on to take a look at the end of the day candidates for the end of day trade, let me just switch gears real quick, talk a little bit about trader psychology. Most important skill you can develop in trading. It's not your entries, exits, moving averages, indicators. I mean, you have to have that. You have to know that. You have to learn about support, resistance, and where to enter and exit and take profits and things like that. But you learn all that so that you can put together a trading plan. But following your trading plan, that is the tough part. So that's why I like to spend a few minutes and talk about the psychological part of trading. There's some great people out there that have great Facebook channels, great Twitter channels, and our very favorite Mr. Steve Burns on Twitter at @SJosephBurns. Let's see what Steve posted. Ted Williams in The Science of Hitting talks about waiting for the right pitch. And that's what investing is. In batting, if you have 2 strikes, you have to swing at the next strike. In investing, you just wait for the next pitch. Warren Buffett. So what does this mean? Warren Buffett has always said there's no 3 strikes rule in baseball, meaning if in baseball, if you just wait, you could wait forever for the perfect pitch, and boy, your batting average would go up really nicely. But the problem is you can get struck out, so you just can't sit there and not swing until you get the perfect pitch, right? Otherwise you'll get struck out. But in trading, it's different. There is no 3 strikes rule. You can sit and wait for just the most perfect pitch. It's an analogy, right? But you can sit and wait for the most perfect pitch before you swing. And I've heard Warren Buffett say this many, many times. And in my experience, let the trade come to you, everybody. Let it come to you. Don't go reaching for it. Don't try to hit an outside ball or something. Back to the baseball metaphor. Just wait and wait and wait. Wait for the trade to come to you. Don't chase the trade. You hear me all the time going, yeah, it's good, but it's a little chasey, right? Just wait till you get that perfect pitch and then take a swing, and your batting average will go up. So one more time, Ted Williams in The Science of Hitting talks about waiting for the right pitch, and that's what investing is. In batting, if you have 2 strikes, you have to swing at the next strike. In investing, you just wait for the next pitch, and you wait for the perfect pitch because you can't get struck out. You have time on your hands. It's the number one advantage that we have over as small retail traders. It's the number one advantage we have over the large financial institutions. They have to trade all the time. They have order flow. They have to trade. Our biggest advantage, we can just sit back and wait. So remember that. Sit back, wait Wait for it to come into your area, wait for a confluence of signals, wait for a good risk to reward ratio, and then swing the bat. Even then, you're not going to hit every ball, right? You're not going to get a base hit or a home run every single time, but it's going to improve your chances dramatically. So thank you, Steve Burns. Appreciate that, my friend. And I'll tell you what, my trading platform is sketchy today. I think that's the best way to put it. Like everything's slow, everything's delayed, and sometimes it locks up on me, so I'm hoping that's not the case today. Okay. Steve says, you're right, Greg. I was sure it had a 520 cross under. I was thinking of Goldman Sachs. That was an error. I did not check the Friday chart. I was thinking it already crossed under. That is a new error. Long year. Steve says, I am exiting fast today as a day trade and buying the Goldman Sachs 1030 EMA crossover. Oh, I didn't know the 1030 EMA crossover was good on Goldman Sachs, but I have Goldman Sachs right now currently with the close over the 200-day. Maybe I'll switch to the 1030 as my stop. I'll just have to make a decision. But there's a confluence of signals, everybody. Close back over the 200-day moving average and a 1030 crossover, which Steve says back tests well. Kamal says, no worries, Steve Burns. I knew there was a trade in Goldman Sachs. I was wondering how I missed the fast trade. Wow, that's the fastest trade I've ever seen Steve take. In the fast, out the fast. I hope you made a little money on it, Steve. I think you probably did, because all these things are at the top of their game. All right, real quick, before I look at the new potential entries, let me take a look at my current positions. Again, beyond me, I bought back here 125.10, moved up nicely the next day, rejected the 50. I sold half. It hasn't moved more than 1.5 ATRs from my entry, so I'm sticking with my original end of day stop, which is 123. But again, I only have half because I sold half here. So red flag. When I get red flags, I like to take some of the position off. So anyway, this one is fine unless it closes under 123 even. 5 has just been fantastic today. Just fantastic. 2 profit targets up 3.13%. SPY had the nice overnight SPY trade. I will buy that again at the end of the day. MDB, I am definitely getting out of. This has been a fantastic trade, but all sorts of damage done here. Under the 50 RSI, closed below the previous day's low, under the 50-day moving average. As a matter of fact, I am going to just go ahead and sell that right here. And just get rid of that and lock those profits in. Okay, there's one. And man, it's not responding. Okay, now I got it back. Okay. Frank says Thinkorswim has been awfully lately as well. Yeah, I've heard that. I have definitely heard that. All right, let's take a look here. Look for potential end of the day trade. Dave & Buster's, PLAY. This is pretty nice here. This is a bullish engulfing bar. It's a V1. We went under 50, over 50. We also have the green triangle. Green triangle means previous day we had a high. The green triangle day went above the high, close below. That's a V1 to the downside. If you get a V1 to the downside, that's bearish. But if you get a V1 to the downside that immediately reverses back up, that is bullish. And we also get a 520 cross under and cross back over. So a lot of signals. V1, bullish engulfing bar, under 50, over 50, green triangle, 5 under the 20 and back over the 20. Only thing that would make this better if we had a little positive MACD. If we look over on the weekly, weekly's good. It's in the value zone. This one looks pretty good. VIX, well, you know, this is a tough one. You know, it's always a little scary trading VIX. We do have a false breakout to the downside. We had a V1 earlier. MACD went positive, and I believe we went under 30, over 30 today. Let me take a look. Yeah. So there's a lot of signals there as well. Under 30, over 30, false breakout to the downside. MACD's gone positive. You know, I got to consider that one. SKX is Skechers. Remember, I was in Manhattan Beach, California, and I walked by the house of the guy that owns Skechers. Holy smokes. Wow. It's a V1, not a great one. It's already rejected the 50-day moving average, so I'm just going to, you know, this was like my Beyond Meat trade. Bought it, rejected the 50, then it went down. So I'm going to pass on this one. MIDD has a V2, return to value V2, but there was no sidewards movement. I mean, we did reject the -1 ATR channel. We are above the 50-day moving average, but I have to stick with my rules. A return to value, I want it to come back into the value, move sideways, then have a V1, V2. No sideways motion here. UUP dollar. Kamal, you remember when we were discussing, I was like, I kind of want to buy the dollar right here. I didn't do it, but it looks like that would have been the right move. Higher low V1. Yeah, I'm just going to pass on that one. UI to V2, but well off of its high. Showed that there was a lot of selling there. WEX, nice V2, but it's a bit chasey. It's a bit chasey. When I look at this, I think, okay, maybe we go to here, maybe we go to here if we keep moving up, but my stop's all the way down here. So I'm going to pass on that one. WBA is Walgreens. Not too bad. Not too bad. No sideways motion, though. Again, we were above the value zone, came into the value zone. It's a V1. It's a rejection of the -1 ATR channel, but I'm just going to let that one go as well. Tile, it's a V1. It's a false breakout to the downside from over here, but I like some of the other ones better. DBI to V2 again, though, but we have no sidewards motion. We go down and we have a bounce. Generally, you'll go down, bounce, maybe up a little bit, and come back down. So I'm going to pass on that one. CTSH, wow, that's a strong mover right there. It's a nice false breakout to the downside from over here. It's a 64.67 RSI. It's just a little high for me. It's just a little high for me. If the risk to reward was better and the RSI reading was better, I would possibly take it. SPCE, which is Virgin Galactic, we have been holding above the 200-day, which is good. It's a little bit of a V1, but barely. I'm just going to wait on this one. You know, this thing moves like crazy. Back in the value zone. I mean, on the weekly, it's a pretty decent place to look at it. On the daily, it's okay, but I would rather wait and see if I could get a rejection of the 200-day moving average. Tilray, False breakout to the downside and a V1. Let's look over on the weekly. Weekly bounce off the -1 ATR channel. Definitely have some volume coming in. That one's all right. So Dave & Buster's above all the moving averages, 520 cross under, crossover, green triangle, bullish engulfing, increased volume. That one's pretty good. VIX is a little bit riskier of a play, everybody. Just be aware. Under 30, over 30, false breakouts to the downside, increased volume. Not a V1, not yet. I'll tell you what, if we get a V1, I will take it. And the V1 would come at 2461. I mean, it has all sorts of other indicators as well. False breakout to the downside, under 30, over 30, MACD. I'm just going to wait for that one last indicator. Let's look at the weekly. Nah. So I think right now my favorite is play, which is Dave & Buster's, with the volume and the 520 cross under, the bullish engulfing, the V1, the bounce off the 200, the move over all the moving averages. Yeah, that one looks fairly good. William says, Thinkorswim had an update that was not good. It has been fixed, and I have had no issue since. I'm told they are I'm told they are tying TD Ameritrade to Schwab. Yeah. Steve says, I'm long Goldman Sachs. All right, so Stevie's in here with us. All right, I'm just gonna, let's see. Let's see, Steve bought at 206.71. Hey, already in the money. MU, okay. Oh yeah, Kamal, I had MU on here earlier, but remember when I told you my charts went down and it erased everything? Under 30, over 30. It's about it though. You know, on an index, I'm much more likely to take an under 30, over 30, but on a single stock, that's about it. We've rejected the 5-day moving average here. It's all it is. I'm not saying it can't go up, but me personally, I wouldn't take this. I don't think it has enough confluences. Oh man. Okay, sorry. This is going to be touch and go whether or not I can actually place my trade at the end of the day here, unfortunately. I'll tell you what. I've got to, let me shut this down. And let me reboot Schwab up again and see if I can get it to respond. All right, let's see if that comes back up. In the meantime, look at this. I took a picture of Miss Katie. You can tell, I think, she looks a little under the weather, but she was sitting there so nicely that over by her blankie. This is her blankie over here. Sorry, I'm waiting for my account to come back up. But Anyway, she was sitting there kind of posing, so I thought that'd be a fun little picture to take. But you can see she looks a little peaked or something, right? Come on now. Cree. Similar Kamal. It's better. It's better than MU because it's at least it's a V2. Yeah. It's better. It has more indicators. Although that last week's bar, that's a doozy, man. That's a doozy on the weekly. I have a feeling this one might bounce a little bit, but I highly doubt it can go right back up. That's just my thought on it. Bob says RRGB. V1, rejection of the -1 ATR channel, false breakout to the downside from there. You know, when I look at this, Bob, you know, I just think, look, I got the 50-day moving average right there. It looks like a bit of a bounce. MACD's negative. We're so close to the 50 RSI. If we look at the weekly's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Just make sure that if you take it, if it were me, I would definitely have my stop right about here. And if we rejected that 50-day moving average above us or the 50 RSI above us, I'd get out of half, exactly like I did on Beyond Meat. Speaking of Beyond Meat, okay, we're still fine. 5 is a monster today, huh? SPY, buying then again at the close. MDB, I sold, locked in profits here today. Goldman Sachs been a monster. Wow. Now VIX has triggered the V2. All right, I'm going to buy play and I'm going to buy VIX. VIX is very volatile, so if you decide to buy VIX today, take a half position or a quarter position because it can be quite volatile. So keep that in mind. But I'm only going to buy it if it closes over 24.61, and right now it's 24.61. So I'm going to go ahead and buy play right now. Okay, I bought play. What do we have? 5 minutes. All right. And I am going to, well, my plan on VIX here is if it closes above 24.61. So right now it's 24.60. So I'll just have to wait till the end there. All right, so it is above now. What do we have? 6 minutes? Hey, you got a 0.69% gain on fast. Happy accident. Nice, Steve. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, she doesn't look too bad, but I could just, I know what she looks like. I could just see it in her eyes. But, I mean, last week, all she did was lay down, didn't sleep. It was sad. But, yeah, she looks pretty good for sure. But she's so much thinner than she is. But she's over there sleeping right now. Frank says it can't be easy for Katie watching us trade. I think she likes it. I think she likes it sometimes. Steve says gold reset the 520 EMA cross under. Oh, that's good to know. So we had the 520 cross under. If we get a 520 cross back over, good, valid, positive expectancy crossover trade if we cross back over. Steve says Katie looks happy. Yeah, well, she looked so good compared to what she had. That's why I snapped the picture. All right, so I am waiting to buy Mr. VIX here if we get a close over 24.61, and right now it looks like we have it. So I already bought Play, P-L-A-Y. I bought Goldman Sachs intraday. I got rid of MDB. I locked in profits on MDB. Goldman Sachs making a new high on the day. Man, Goldman Sachs just cranking. So I have about 1 minute to go. Boy, let's look at Goldman Sachs intraday. Woohoo! We've got about 45 seconds. I am going to go ahead and buy VIX right now with the under 30, over 30 false breakout to the downside and the V1 to the upside and the positive MACD crossover. Maybe. 24.61, it's 24.62, so I'll just have to do my best here at the end of the day. Oh, now it's under. Now it's over. Now it's under. Okay, so I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it. I didn't buy it because it didn't trigger the V2. Woo! All right. Wow, what a day. What a day, what a day. So listen, if you have any questions, if you have any new additions or subtractions at the end of the day here, any new entries you have or any exits that you took off the board, this is the time, put them in. Just real quick before I do, I just want to remind everybody that I do offer private one-on-one coaching and teaching lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I've had really good success with my clients. I have been trading for over 24 years, and I have a lot of experience, and I have studied with some great traders and authors one-on-one. That's the key, one-on-one. And I have studied one-on-one with Stephen Burns, Dr. Alexander Elder, Kerry Lavorne, and Larry Williams. They're great traders. I'm sure you've and authors and educators. I'm sure you've heard of them. And the course that I teach you everything that I've learned over all these years of trading and everything that I have learned from my teachers and mentors as well. So the course is a total of 15 hours. 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours for a total of 15 hours. Long form teaching, one-on-one, so you have as much attention as possible for your questions. And I was teaching one of my students the other night. Her name is Carol, and at the end she goes, "You know why I like this course, Greg, and why I'm starting to learn? It's patience and repetition, because I repeat stuff ad nauseum." But, you know, I think the best way to teach is for the teacher to have patience and for repetition, repetition, repetition. And that's why I like to have one-on-one. I think that's the best way to learn. So if you're interested in possibly taking the course with me, if you've been thinking about it, please let me know. Just reach out to me. You can send me a message on Twitter, at Gossett Trading on Twitter, or you can send me an email. The email's in the description of this video. And if you do reach out to me, I'll reply, say, hey, how's it going? Let's set up a Skype call. The Skype call is free. There's absolutely no sales pressure. I wouldn't do that to you. I just want to learn a little bit more about you, why you're reaching out to me, what your challenges in trading are, what your goals are, and then it's a great time for you to ask me questions about the course. And like I said, I'll never ask you if you want to take the course. I'll just say, hey, it was great talking to you. You know, think about it. If you decide that you want to take the course in the future, just email me back. So anyway, be fun to put a face with the name. So if you've been thinking about it, do it. It's $1,000. You know, it's a significant amount of money, but I promise you it's worth every penny, and it's worth a lot more than $1,000. I can promise you that. And by the time you're done, you really should be able to have a good grasp of how to trade almost any market, whether it's deep dip buys or trend trades or crossovers or higher low V1s or higher low V2s or return to value V1s, V2s. You know, I teach all of that. And then secondly, if you like today's podcast, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. It helps the channel, helps keep the channel alive. You know, if you found it helpful, if you like the channel, I would appreciate it if you could just hit the thumbs up button before you click on out of here. That would be great. Okay, so let me take a quick look over here and see where I got filled on everything. So let's see, the SPY at 342.92 and play at 1446. Okay, 1446 for play, and SPY $342.92. I did get out of MDB today with the close below the previous day's low, the loss of the 50-day moving average. It had moved more than 1.5 ATRs from my entry, so I instituted a trailing stop. I would have gotten out of half, but we rejected so many things. So that one is done. I'll move this over here. All right. Let's take a look and see what everybody else did. Oh, sorry, Kamal. I didn't see Yelp. Let's take a look, though. Yeah, kind of like that, actually. But on the other hand, we're already at a 46.15 RSI, not a lot of volume. All right, so Brian M. sold Netflix. Okay. Yeah, I don't like that bar either. Etsy. Good. Keep those weeds out of your garden, Brian, right? And LVGO. Okay, so Frank and Brian got out of LVGO. Okay. So that one's gone. Glad keeping those losses small. David, covered MD. I think you're the first person ever on this channel to use the word I covered, because I don't see a lot of shorts. But that was a profitable trade. Very nice. Look at David surprising everybody with the short. Nice trade, David. Okay. All right. So Kamal, you and I basically have exactly the same price. It's one penny away. So I'm just going to leave that. I'm not going to add extra lines. Okay. So Kamal got in here at 203.79 or very close. Steve got in here at 206.71. That's what you said, right, Steve? Let's see. 206.71. Yes. And so it did have a 1030 crossover. Let me take a look here at my 1030 crossover chart. This is a Russell 2000. But Goldman Sachs, I don't see the 1030. I see the 10. Oh, that's, yeah, no, that's the 1050. 1030. I don't see it crossing back over. All right. Well, maybe my chart's off, but I'm going to base mine then over the 200-day. Boy, what a great trade that was intraday. I'm really glad I took that. Same with you, Kamal. MDB. Kamal also got out of MDB. That was a great trade, Kamal. That was a monster. I'm really grateful that your scanner kicked that out. Quad says, hey Greg, sold 5. Okay. Bought Goldman Sachs, Sill, and Intel. Okay. Still in Intel. I still have quad and Intel. Okay, pretty close to break even on that one. It has not hit my stop yet. Right. Steve says, Greg, is the only person I recommend... Oh, this was not a question. This is a statement. Greg, Steve says, Greg, is the only person I recommend when people ask me for one-on-one trading. Ah, well, thank you so much, Steve. By the way, I did have someone that came to me from you recently, Steve. So thank you so much for recommending me. That was really nice of you. This is Carol. That's who I was talking about, Carol. So I very much appreciate that, Steve, and I'll do my very best to teach him everything that I know with your recommendation. Gary says, Greg is amazing for one-on-one trading. Thank you, Gary. Bob says, plus play. All right. Have Bob in on play. And minus TDAC. Yeah, well. Boy, that was a bummer there, Bob. Man, that's the thing with those biotech companies and FDA stuff. Man, I'm sorry for that, but I hope you position size well. And I mean, it's a good lesson to everyone. This can happen to any stock anytime. It can happen to an Apple. It can happen anytime. So it's a good example to always make sure you're positioning correctly. And I just want to go over it again. I use, well, a good rule of thumb is 1% of your capital, right? So if you have $20,000, right? If you have $20,000, 1% is $200. I would take $200 divided by the value of the 2 ATR. That will tell you exactly how many shares to buy. It will account for the volatility and will put you outside. It will put your emergency stop outside of range. Inside of range, inside of noise is 1 ATR. So 2 ATRs is way outside of just the average expected movement. So anyway, I'm sorry that happened, Bob, but anyway, hopefully, this will be a lesson to people that, and I didn't want this to happen to you, Bob, for the lesson, but just, being that it did happen, to always consider your position size. Gary says, I'm now looking for an advanced options class. Greg or Steve, can you recommend? I really don't know. I think Dan Fitzpatrick, who was in the chat last week, which was really cool. I think Steve has him as his number one person for options. Is that right, Steve? I think on your Twitter list, the number one person that he has listed is Dan Fitzpatrick, and you can find him on Twitter, Gary. I don't know if Steve has any thoughts on that. Glenn says, William O'Neill filter is showing me NTS, Amazon, TSCO, and now. We'll be adding on pullbacks to the 20 SMA. Sounds good. Yeah. Well, and that just happens to be in the value zone there, right? Yeah. Nice uptrend, nice uptrends eventually always come back into the value zone. Better to buy in value, sell above value than buy at value and sell, buy above value and sell at value. Buy in value, sell above value, buy below value, sell in value. Thanks for that, Glenn. Dan says, Gary, Steve Burns has a great book on options. Oh, that is true. I have read that many, many times for sure. Steve says, thanks, Dan. Options 101. That's right. That's where I really started initially learn all about option stuff. Steve says, I am showing a 1030 EMA crossover on. Oh, EMA. Okay. That makes sense, Steve. The chart I looked at was the chart I looked at was SMA. So what was it? That was Goldman Sachs, right? Yeah, there you go. Here's the 1030 right here. You are correct. 1030 EMA does have the crossover. So a confluence of crossovers on Goldman Sachs, right? Close under the 200, close over the 200. 10 EMA crossing under the 30 EMA and then crossing back over. So nice confluence of indicators and a higher low to boot. Glenn says, 1987, SPX had a peak on the 25th of August. Just a little thing to ponder. Yeah, I imagine. Oh, a peak of August, huh? 1987. Oh, that was the crash of 87. I remember I was sitting and listening to the radio, and I did follow Wall Street. I watched Wall Street Week. This is how much of a nerd I was. In high school, I would stay home on Friday nights because I wanted to watch Wall Street Week with Louis Rukeyser. My friends say, come on out, we're doing something. I'm like, yeah, I got this television show to watch. They had no idea it was Wall Street Week. Bob says, I'm in SHLL, so TDA hurts less. Oh. Do I have you on SHLL? Oh my. Are you kidding me? Bob, where did you get into SHLL? Let's put this on the board. That one's worth seeing. Wow. I was feeling bad for Bob, and he he has a 33%er. Wow. Bob, if you're still out there, let me know where you got in there. Steve says, Dan Fitzpatrick is great for options. He taught my options mentor. Oh, well, there you go, Gary. Gary says, thanks, Greg. Hope everyone has a great day. Yeah, contact Dan Fitzpatrick. Steve says, my option e-course is a good place for basics. And that's right. Steve has an options e-course at newtraderu.com. I would show it, but I'm scared of Google. But yeah, newtraderu.com, and he has an e-course for options. Gary says, thanks, Dan. Gary says, I'm really looking for advanced options trading strategies. I use a lot of spreads to generate income, but looking for more strategies. No, it's a long-term spec play. Okay. All right, well, I'll take you off there, but that's fantastic. Oh, now I took it off. Yeah. And now I put in the wrong one. Hey, I don't remember going over Stitch Fix today. Gary, look at Gary with the Stitch Fix. Whoa, what a huge day. Wow. Sorry I missed out on that one, Gary. I don't know why I didn't hit it, but I remember this trade. I bought it here. I remember here. I think I got out here or here. I didn't like what it was doing, and it didn't care. Look at that. SHLL. Look at this, everybody. Bob got in at 21, so he's doubled his money. 21.85. That's worth noting. Wow. Wow. This is a good example, everybody, of price moving sideways, sideways prices move to big moves. Big moves lead back to sideways. Sideways then possibly lead to other moves. Don't know which way. But that does happen all the time. There's volatility, leads to no volatility. Volatility leads to no volatility. That's just how it works. Wow, what a trade, Bob. Proud of you. Steve says, Dan Fitzpatrick is my recommendations. Great. Great, great. Dan says, here's wishing you the best of good buys. Great. Brian says, sorry for the late ad. Oh, Brian, you also got shill? 27. 27.67. Okay. So Bob's down here. Brian M here. $8.18. Oh. Well, okay. $32.19. All right. I'll try to, let's see. Okay, I'll make Bob's green. And so that's green. I'll make Brian's blue. Sorry, when I get too many people on the same trade with too many entry prices, then it gets tough to keep it all straight. But I'll do my best here. All right, great trades, Brian and Bob. Brian says, Bob, you got in SHLL early as well. Nice. Okay. Let's see what Apple did here at the end of the day. Yeah, that was the spot. Remember when I first came on, I said, if I was trading, this is where I would buy it. That's exactly where I would buy it. I most likely would have gotten out here, though. All right, so Beyond Meat holding my stop at 123. 5, really nice day today, up 3.69%, 2 profit targets. SPY had a great overnight SPY trade, 342, or bought Friday, sold at the open. New trade here at 342.92. Play is not my new entry here at 1446. Goldman Sachs bought that intraday at 203.97. And VIX I did not buy because it did not trigger the V1. All right, well, listen, everybody, I appreciate you coming today. Let me just remind you 2 things. 1, please try to go out and do something nice for somebody today, just a smile or wave or hello. Just one nice, kind gesture. It would make the world a whole lot better place if we could all do that for at least one person a day, and would also make the world even doubly as better if you could go out and try to just do one nice thing for an animal, any kind of animal, doesn't matter, just one nice thing. That would just be fantastic. It's good for you, it's good for the animal, it's good karma, all of that stuff. So if I could remind you, 2 nice things, one nice thing for an animal, one nice thing for a human, that would be fantastic. It will help your trading. Scientifically speaking, I don't know, but it seems like it will, so that's why I'm saying it. And then 2, if you could hit the thumbs up button before we click on out of here, I would really appreciate that as well. Bob says SHLL is up 5% after hours, he says with the humble tone. Is it really? You weren't a lion. It's up 4.58%. Wow, congratulations to both of you. That's fantastic. Nice ad there at the end of the day. All right, there's Miss Katie. She's saying goodbye to everybody. So listen, have a great rest of your day. Be good, be nice, be safe. Hit the thumbs up button if you could. I'm going to put my hiking boots on, go for a nice hike. I am teaching tonight, so Marcus, if you're out there, I'm looking forward to our lesson at 6:30 Mountain Standard Time. So that was it. So pretty good day all the way around. Hope you had a good day also. And I look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow during the last hour of the market. Okay, take care, everyone. Bye-bye now. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice. and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.